Alright, so today we are going to be talking about the best characters to be running alongside Jing Liu. Now, as I said already in a previous video, I do think Jing Liu is the best DPS in the game, and, running her with, the best characters to run her with is going to make her perform even better. So, I split this up into a few categories as I do for the team building, and I'm going to go over each of them, talk about the characters, and why they're going to work really well with Jing Liu here. And I have a very interesting character in the last category, so definitely stick around till the end there. So, firstly, the first category I have of the three is going to be the support characters. So, just starting out here with Bronya, in the order I have it here. Now, I do think Bronya is the best Harmony character in the game right now, as she is also the only 5-star Harmony. And she does very well here with Jing Liu, not just because of, her damage bonuses and whatnot, which would help any DPS, but also the fact that Bronya will be able to, use her action advancement to be able to get Jing Liu to attack more. And this can mean two very strong things. If Jing Liu is in her regular state, this will get her closer to getting to her Spectral Transmigration, which is going to be, where she's going to be performing her best. And then if you're already in the Spectral Transmigration state, then you're going to just be able to do a ton more damage because Bronya is going to be boosting up your damage as well with her action advancement. Now, the state will end faster, but you'll also be doing more damage. So, definitely is, a bit of a, give and take kind of thing. But I do think that Bronya is going to be very strong with Jing Liu. Then, next up, we have Silverwolf. And Silverwolf just is universally good with a lot of characters. She is going to be able to change the enemy's weaknesses as well as give a lot of debuffs. So Silverwolf is just going to be able to help Jing Liu out a lot. Plus with the team that I've personally been running, I've been running a half ice, half quantum team, running Jing Liu, Silverwolf, Xuan, and Pela. So that's been a very strong team for me as well. So Silverwolf just being able to do, debuff plus with the weakness changing is going to be very beneficial for Jing Liu as well, because if she is able to get a weakness break off, she is going to be able to freeze the enemy and have a bit more of a delay before the enemy can take their action again, which is very nice. Then next up for supports, we have Tingyun. And Tingyun is going to be very good as well. Now, while Jing Liu doesn't use skill points during her Spectral Transmigration state, it is good to have Tingyun also, who doesn't use that many skill points, because then you can focus your skill points a lot more on if you have another support, if you have another sustain that might be a little more skill point heavy. Like if you didn't pull for Luocha, Xuan, those skill point neutral, skill point positive characters, you'll be able to have a bit more freedom to be able to use some of those more skill point heavy either supports or sustains on the team, while also being able to give Jing Liu a good amount of attack increase, and then also being able to give her energy for her ultimate, which can extend the amount of time she's in her Spectral Transmigration state. So that just means more opportunities for even more damage because of the way the state functions. Then, for supports, the last one I put up here for the best options is Pela. Pela is going to be very good because she is going to be able to AoE defense shred, and since Jing Liu's Spectral Transmigration state allows her to hit adjacent enemies as well, having a lot of enemies having their defense down is just going to make Jing Liu a lot stronger, and that's really just going to be pretty beneficial for the team. And also, having ER rope on Pela has also been very strong for me as well, just so she can get her ultimate back more consistently to keep that defense down as well. Then next up, I want to go into the best sustain characters for Jing Liu. And I do think they're just the two best sustained characters in the game, being Luocha and Xuan. Now, I do think Luocha is going to end up being a better option overall because Jing Liu's Spectral Transmigration state is going to take HP away from your party. So because of that, Luocha being able to heal and also using his field as well for that more passive healing, or that lifesteal kind of healing, is definitely going to be super helpful in keeping your team healthy, while Jing Liu is using their HP to gain more attack and just do more damage overall. And then for Xuan, since I've been using Xuan with my Jing Liu a lot, Xuan is definitely very solid in being able to, have Jing Liu not take as much damage herself, and also not have your allies take as much damage, so you can focus on getting their HP for Jing Liu to increase her attack during her state, which is really nice overall to be able to do more damage. Plus, with Xuan, you are building HP, so you are able to take a higher number of HP from Xuan. So if you do have the limit for Jing Liu's HP drain from the team a lot higher with the trace, with the trace level, then Xuan can also help in that factor as well. She definitely doesn't heal as much as any of the healers in the game, but her ult heals are nice, and she is able to sustain the team very well with her matrix of prescience. Then lastly, I'm going to get into the other options that I think are all good. I think that for most of them, if you don't have the best options like I showed here, you can run these options and be fine. But there's one option down here that's not like that, and I think it's a very special case that while I haven't personally tested it, I have seen other people use it, and it does actually seem like it'll work even from a theoretical and theory crafting kind of sense. So going down here, it is actually Blade. Now, some of you might be wondering, oh, why am I going to run 2 DPSs? Normally running 2 DPSs, it's going to be very skill point dependent. You're going to not have skill points for other parts of your team. But the thing with Blade and Jing Liu is that they both have moments where they're not using skill points. For Jing Liu, it's her spectral transmigration state. With Blade, it's when he uses his skill. So Blade only needs to use a skill point once every 3 turns, which is really good for being able to maintain skill points. So I do think Jing Liu and Blade use skill points at a same kind of amount. Jing Liu's are just kind of more all at once, whereas Blade is once every 3 turns. So then, with running both of them, you can focus your team on using skill points for your support, for your healer, which is going to be really good. Plus, also, when Jing Liu does use her enhanced skill to, sacrifice HP from the party, that does count as a hit to Blade, which will increase his counter for his follow-up attack, which is also very good to be able to do even more damage there. So them playing into each other like that is very nice as well. Plus Blade building, mainly building off of HP. I know there's other Blade builds that don't focus as much into HP, I believe. But if you do have an HP-centric Blade, being able to, have a higher amount of HP go to Jing Liu is also very helpful. So this is the one time where I think a double DPS team could actually be very strong. So then now I kind of, broke this up into 2 other groups for the other characters, starting with the supports, being, Asta and Yukong. I do think they are both very solid, but I think Bronya and Tingyun are just a league above them. Asta is very good just to be able to increase the attack of Jing Liu, and then also being able to increase the speed of the entire team with her ultimate. So she does have some good utility there. Then for Yukong's able to increase the crit rate, crit damage, all that stuff. I do think the crit rate boosts end up being a little redundant with Jing Liu's spectral transmigration state, just because she does boost it to a pretty high level already. But the crit damage boost is also very nice as well. Then for the other section here, we have the other healers in the game. Right now being Bailu, Lynx, and Natasha. I do think they all have their own, important things that they bring to the team. Bailu being just a pure healer, so you wouldn't have cleanse unless you're running Bronya on the team, or if you're running Shielder or if you're running just March 7th. She's the only Shielder that has cleanse right now, but her healing is very good. And then now, running her with an energy regen rope, you're going to be able to keep her damage reduction up for the entire team for longer, which will also be very good for survival. Then for Lynx is able to cleanse the entire team if you get one of those really annoying debuffs, and is just able to provide a decent amount of healing as well. And then for Natasha, she does have cleanse, she has a decent amount of healing. I do think Lynx is a better option overall, but I do also think that, if you don't have Lynx, and you don't have one of the best sustainers, I do think Natasha can still be a very strong option for players as well, especially if they're lacking a cleanse character, if they don't have Bronya, because having cleanse can end up being so important in some of these Memory of Chaos stages. But yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on the team comps for Jing Liu. Let me know down in the comments below what team you're running with your Jing Liu. As I said, right now I'm running Jing Liu with Silverwolf, Xuan, and Pela, running a half ice, half quantum team. It's been working pretty well for me so far, so I'm definitely happy about that. But with that, I'm going to end it off here. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed and you haven't already, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. But I will see you all next time.